Having consumed a lot of your LinkedIn content and listened to your podcast, State of Demand Gen, you have thoughts on a wide variety of topics. So for fun, let's do a rapid fire segment on some of the different marketing activities, and I'll mention one of these channels, and you can fire off what you think. We talked a little bit about this before, but conferences, will they come back? How will they come back? What are your thoughts on that?
Companies are over-invested.
Okay.
Is this rapid fire for me too? Because I'll just give you like a quick answer, or I'll go further. You tell me.
You can go a little further on that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that they're going to come back from the conferences standpoint. The industry conferences have no incentive to innovate. Zero. Every year they continue to raise their prices, and companies still continue to pay it. And so they have no incentive to do anything more than the exact same thing they keep doing. And the only way that you incentivize them to do more is companies start challenging that model. And companies are not going to challenge that model at enough scale anytime soon for anyone to change. And so what I'm recommending is for one smart company to do something different as a point of challenging that drives dramatically more impact while still siphoning off all of the real value of a trade show, which is not the booth. And I think companies should try it.
Facebook advertising.
Still very impactful, but was dramatically more impactful in 2018.
LinkedIn advertising.
Overpriced, but catching up in terms of overall engagement. Second thing I'll add, not enough reach. And so while you see very large audiences when they build the data inside of LinkedIn because everyone's profile matches your things, go look at how many people actually get delivered your ads, and it's not a lot. And so if you are in I would say any type of velocity sale, less than 120-day sales cycle, you're going to really struggle to hit scale on LinkedIn, which is why we supplement with Facebook and Instagram and other channels. A lot of companies only run LinkedIn and display, and I think it's a huge mistake.
Field marketing.
Could use some updates to the activities that they do to drive the most impact.
ABM.
Misunderstood, and from a strategy standpoint, it makes perfect sense. At an execution level, companies really, really suck at it.
Something close to the heart, podcasting.
Incredibly underrated for the potential impact, and incredibly under-resourced by most companies that do it in terms of who's the actual host of the podcast, how much time they're investing, and different things like that. And companies just fail to see the dramatic impact that it can have if they executed it well.
The 800-pound gorilla in the room, content marketing.
Too stuck in SEO 2011.
Okay. Email marketing.
Effective, but overrated by a lot of companies because of the fact that they can measure it.
Public relations.
Requires a facelift on how it's done. I think a lot of companies still run the PR play from 2002, where they put a press release on the wire and hope somebody picks it up. And in the future, I have mentioned this several times, I'm going to go into depth in it here. The actual model is to build owned PR channels that demonstrate expertise and create and command attention,
right,
which then opens up earned opportunities rather than hiring a PR firm, paying them $25,000 to send cold emails to try and get you on some show. And so we've been doing that exact strategy. I can talk you through exactly what happens. We have been executing on our own channels, mainly LinkedIn and podcast. I was initially asked for free consulting calls and then to go on other people's podcasts, which continues to grow. And then an article was written about my company in Forbes. And now we're getting asked to speak at conferences that the other people, that vendors will pay $20,000 for someone at their company to speak. We get invited to do it for free. And companies are asking us to do keynotes for their team, which is content marketing, business development, ABM.
All in one.
And so, yeah, I think there's a huge opportunity in leveraging third-party channels that have credibility. You could argue that an influencer is a form of PR, or PR is an influencer. You could argue both of those things back and forth. And so I think that companies should really think about how they're executing there, because it could be really impactful.
Word of mouth.
The thing that drives the most buying decisions in B2B today, and nobody in B2B actually recognizes it.
And finally, positioning.
I would say that it's something that's important, that I think companies spend a lot of time on, that they have a good positioning. And then when it actually gets moved into quote unquote production, or where somebody would actually read it, all of the teeth in it gets cut out because of bureaucracy.
Great. Awesome. Thank you for participating in that little bit of
Yeah, that
experiment.
was fun. I could do that for hours.
Okay.